everybody. Thank you for joining me. Today is Saturday, 6th or 5th of November, bright and early in the morning, getting up so I can have this half-liter coffee. It's so good. Black, no cream, no sugar. Just the pure ground-up coffee bean. Whoa! It's so good. Where do we start? I had a great workout. Always talking about my workouts. Why? I think they're exciting. I mean, they're progressing. Every single freaking workout for the last year has something to show for progress. I'm getting stronger. It's working. The whole thing is working, so I'm documenting the journey. Because in my mind, in my vision, very soon, I'll achieve that body that I want, those lifting parameters that I'm striving for. And so I'll have a body, quote unquote, of work to show this is how you do it. And I'll show all the negative comments that go along with it so people can understand this one basic truth. It is human nature to hate on the clever and despise the fool. Nobody gratuitously loves anybody else in the herd. Everybody is looking out for their own selves. And whenever they see somebody breaking out, achieving, going forward, being successful, especially if they're being contrary to popular wisdom and given opinion, obviously this is a dangerous thing for many people who enjoy the status quo. It's not a safe thing for people to be successful. The danger, well, I guess the greatest adversity is from your fellow human beings. It's not from the rain. It's not from the sun. It's not from the green grass or the wind and the ocean. It's from people. Why? Because people are rife with petty venal sins like jealousy and envy and all these things. Not saying everybody. We all have good and bad within ourselves. It's upon us to cultivate our higher spiritual selves, to enjoy the victories of others, to see in the success of your fellow human being as a possibility for your own success, to bring hope, and to have sincere brotherly affection for other people. If this not be your natural state, is something that I would strongly advise you cultivate and grow in your own heart, to feel the best well wishes for others instead of trying to tear them down. Now, I say all of this because as I have continuously been getting stronger, overcoming minor aches and issues, were to the point where today, it's like nothing is hurting. I've received many comments of how I am going to hurt myself. And just, this type of line of reasoning, like wearing a belt while you're lifting, laughing my ass off. Laughing emojis because I use a lifting belt. Now, what would be the purpose for that? Anyways, I don't want to get too sidetracked. The thing is, making gains, getting stronger. There's something in every single workout that is exciting to me by bringing up the parameters from the previous levels that they were at. So today, it was a back, delt, and bicep session. I didn't have it in my mind to go in and do these heavy weights for the back. I wanted to get, some work in on my pull-ups because I'm trying to increase them. I could only do one 3 weeks ago. And then I brought it up to 2, and then the last session was between 3 and 4. And today I go in and find it's easy now, or it's a lot easier. I warmed up with 5, did a few sets with 6, and my final set was 7 reps. I said, wow, okay, this is going very quickly now. Hopefully very soon I'll have to add some weight on the belt or something to increase the progression on that. It's a highly effective exercise if you can get good reps in and good sets on the pull-up. It's an amazing exercise for the back, and I've been neglecting vertical pulls for over a year. I've just been doing rows, dumbbell rows, low-seated cables. but nothing pulling down from up to down. So that was really exciting for me to see that type of progression. And then I go on the military press, and I've been, working with one plate forever, and pyramiding up. I go up to like a plate and 3/4, which would be 200 pounds on a very good day. But I always default to the one plate. It's like one plate, that's my baseline. I said, I got to change that. Just have to break out of that mold. And it's been hard. So now my warm-up is with a plate and a 5 kilo. And breaking through that threshold is harder than it seems. So today, let me share some insights, some very curious insights about what can hold a person back. So after warming up with like a 30 kilo, just lightweight, getting the range, getting the angle, I don't press like this. That would hurt my shoulders. And I have impinged them in the past by doing this. I flare them and I let the whole angle just hit my upper torso to where it's almost like an upper back exercise, but it's the delts pushing. So I load up the bar with 155, which is a plate and a 5 kilo. And on my very first rep, it felt very heavy. And I felt a little tiny bit of pain on my right shoulder. So I just did one rep and I said, shit, last week I got 8 reps. I got 9 reps. What is going on? So I gather my thoughts and I'm thinking to myself, there's something at work here. There's something subconsciously. There's no way I lost this much strength from one session to the next. So, long story short, get back under the bar, and I just let my mind go. And it's like, okay, you're just going to do this. Brought it down a little bit quicker. Didn't go all, man, when you go all the way down like this, look at the angle here at the shoulder. This is 90 degrees. The bar is still very high up. Still, it's like eye level. But it's 90 degrees on you go down here to your chin, it's like almost 135 degrees. That's not very good on your shoulder joint. It's more targeted if you just stay at 90 degrees, right? Okay. So that's what I did. I brought it down here, maintained the tension on the delt, got 10 reps. And I said, man, it is so easy to say, you know what, it's too heavy. And then you hear somebody lower the weight. So you lower the weight, and then you're defeated. You would not have progressed. You would have stayed there for God knows how many months or years, or maybe never ever would have broken out of that weight range, left to your own devices. Because you've been conquered. Again, it's these subtle, step-by-step, moment-by-moment decisions that define where you will end up in the end. Will you succeed or not? Had I listened to that negative voice in my head saying, you know what, be careful, your shoulder. Oh, and the other thing, after the 10 reps, no shoulder pain. Actually, it was gone. Like, what the hell? It's almost like a voodoo doll somewhere. One rep hurt. I said, no. 10 reps, no pain. There has to be some kind of an explanation for that. Now, I felt so good doing those 10 reps. And I said, man, and I was programmed just to do one set. I said, I do one set, I'm out of there with that exercise. I progressed. I said, no, I'm going to do another set to make sure it wasn't a fluke of some kind. Second set, I got 9 reps. Easier than the first. Didn't get the 10, but it was for me, it's still heavy weight, man. Like, the 1 rep was a challenge. And now it's 10 and 9. So, just to be the contrarian and to make sure the thing was completely defeated, I did another set. This time I think I got 7 or 8, which is more than I got on the first time I tried that 155. So 3 sets total, breaking out of my previous limitation. And it was like, there's more to this than just lifting weights. This is completely a spiritual battle. This is completely mental. Every single victory, every single pound that you gain, every single progress that you make in the gym, more than muscle, it's in your mind. It's in your mind. It's by virtue of your spirit that you overcome these things. Not to say, and not, not to mention overcoming other people's opinions and other people's good advice. How reasonable does it seem when somebody says lower the weight, you might hurt yourself? Sounds reasonable, right? To me, knowing what I know now, it is absolutely an ill-intentioned piece of advice. It comes from a place of a mocking, laughing enemy that wants to see you not succeed. Get behind me, Satan, said Jesus to Peter when he said, don't go to the cross. No, don't do that. Everybody has their purpose. And to impede their purpose, to stifle their walk, not saying I'm going to a cross and people who are advising, there's Satan, none of that. It's an analogy. It's a metaphor whereby good intentions or advice that is masked as a good intention is actually, in truth, designed to stifle and stumble and impede the purpose of that person to fulfill their destiny, right? It's just good advice. Had I been listening to good advice, I would not be making the progress that I'm making today. So let's move on from there. Went to the back rows. Again, this is a exercise that, I see big bodybuilders do this, but when a normal type of person does this thing, it gets all kinds of reactions. You're going to hurt your back. Don't do that weight. You're going to hurt your back. You're not using proper posture. Proper posture? My God, I've practiced for hours that posture to hinge just right to where there's no stress on my lower back, where I can bend forward with no stress on the lower back and get that bar tucked into the belly with like zero lower back pain. Now doing 3 plates. When I started out lifting in the gym, and I would see in a magazine or something like that somebody doing 3 plates, I said, my God, one of these days, I can't believe I would ever be able to do 3 plates. Plate and a half was extremely heavy for me. And I stayed with just 1 plate doing proper form, till kingdom come. It's no. Proper form is a euphemism for not getting the job done, just staying status quo, staying, small and slow forever. I get other comments about the momentum on the bar. And it astounds me the ignorance of what a proper barbell row is. You don't work on eccentrics, neither on deadlifts nor on back rows. I saw somebody, a friend of mine, do a video. He did a 4-plate deadlift, and then he dropped the bar at the end. Somebody got on his ass because, why did you drop the bar? You should lower it slowly. And it's like, go listen to that advice. You'll be a cripple. Absolutely ignoramus. Does not understand powerlifting. Never seen an Olympic lift in his life. Have you ever seen a world-class clean and jerk being brought down slowly? They throw that bar down from the top. Why? To do otherwise would endanger them, would put them at risk for injury. And it's a stupid thing to do. And it's even a more ignorant and stupid thing to advise somebody to do so. Before making comments about how to do proper form, be informed that you know. Make sure that you do know. It's just good advice. So, on power moves like the back row, you don't work the eccentric. You don't do this. You don't do that. You don't do that with 2-3 plates. These are power moves, like the penalty row. You grab the thing, and then you crunch it back, let it go down, and then you bring it up, and then you let it go back down. It's a power move. Okay? Now, from there, did some biceps on the preacher. Did 60-pound dumbbells. Never did those before with an isolation. I'll tell you the truth. I am always scared of getting injured. I'm always very cautious of tearing a bicep or a lat or a pec or a quad. You don't want to tear anything. And the more that, I use these heavy weights, the more conscious I am of the danger. I don't go about this, blithely just going and lifting 400 pounds or, oh, let's grab the 80-pound dumbbells. I think about this long and hard. More so than the people who comment, that's for sure. So what do? First time trying a 60-pound dumbbell on the preacher, I guided myself with my other hand. Like a little training wheel. And just bring it up. I'm doing all the force I can with my right hand. Got every single ounce of energy and focus on that right hand. Yet, the other hand is there to stabilize. Until one day it'll be familiar. I can let my hand go by itself. And I can do these 60s like that. But in the meantime, I take small precautions, like helping myself a little bit. It's like with the 10 plate on each side on the leg press, and I put my hands on my knees. So you're cheating. How can that be cheating? Really? You think I'm pressing 950 pounds with my hands? You think I'm doing this with my pressing 10 plates, just going like that? Really? Oh, he's taking like 15 pounds off. No, he's stabilizing his knees. So this brings me back again to the principal theme of this video. Doing what you need to do to succeed and understanding human nature is not, human nature of the people around you is not on your side. You have to grow in an independent mind with these things. As you build your muscles, you must build your independence, your character, your force of personality to do what you know is working, in spite of what others might think. This goes for business. This goes for your relationships. This goes for everything that you do in life. Once you break out of a mold and you're doing your own thing and you're being highly successful, people don't want to see you in heaven. They might say so in a eulogy when you're dead, but they don't really want to see you have a situation much higher and more prosperous and much beyond what they have. They interviewed, this is common among socialist countries, where the hatred of the rich is more pronounced, like many European countries. Great Britain would be cited, New Zealand, my mother lives in New Zealand, she could relate to this. There's very much most of the people are middle class. They have basically the same goods, the same means, same status, and all of that. It's not looked upon in a favorable light to see somebody really succeed. You get a lot of jealous and hateful comments, a lot of envy. Envy is rife in these socialist countries. And it's just human nature. It's a system that is intensified and distilled into a quintessence, the venial sins of mankind. Sort of like that. Get everybody into this normality. You want to see people basically with the same size things. Nobody gets too outlandish, or else they get criticized by their peers. You see, people say, "What the hell? This is crazy." In America, we do things differently. Not living in America right now, but I'm an American. I was born, raised, brought up, and have true Americana in me. And I know that America is a place that breeds crazies. It's a place that breeds eccentricities and outliers and fantastic people who can do great and awesome things. Why? Because the mold is kind of shined upon. It's more an issue of excellence. Although there's a lot of that mediocrity that goes, there's enough to go around, that's for sure. Again, it's just human nature. Human nature is damned, basically. It's fucked. Human nature is something to move beyond. You want to have a divine nature. You want to have a nature that is co-divine. It's brought from heaven. Not a nature from the animalistic mud from people scurrying around, hating on each other, trying to bring each other down. There's always the reference to the bucket of crabs, where if one crab starts to break out, the others will bring him down. You know, a crab is a symbol for the Cancer, the astrological symbol. Very apropos, cancerous is cancerous. It's malignant. See something to try to exceed and excel and bring it down. It's cancerous. Be careful with that. Be very careful of being a cancerous idea, a cancerous type person that brings others down instead of pushing them up. The crabs should be going, hey, let's push this guy over the top so he can get out of here. No, they want to bring him back down. See where I'm going with all of this? It needs to be said because some people who follow me will want to break out. They are understanding that to achieve their goals physically, they have to do and go above and beyond what is normally called for. Very disciplined life, eating all your meals every day, staying on point with your training, getting your rest, and doing this day by day, week by week, year by year. It's a lifelong commitment. It's a lifelong commitment. As long as you're in this body, you got something better to do with it, you want to just let go, you know, have beer, smoke, do drugs, end up, fucked, just completely a slob, nothing to show for it but old age, deteriorating, diseased body. Ooh, gross. Don't want that. So easy for that to happen. You can reverse that. You can stay on point. It's in your power to do so. You can do it. Who's going to tell you otherwise? Who's going to tell you otherwise if you want to do this? You want to stay on point, live your best life, be disciplined, have self-control, stay away from all vices, have a clear mind, have clear purpose, have a strong vision. Who's going to tell you otherwise? Who's going to make you do otherwise? Sure, there might be other people to tell you, hey, why I do this. It's like, I'm going to die anyways. You may not. Things are happening day by day, conquering diseases that we thought were mortal. People may well live up into their hundreds. You never know. Certainly you won't if you continue living a dissipated, lackluster, carefree life that doesn't take into account that you are in a body that needs to be taken care of on a daily, needs to be washed, scrubbed, exercised, oxygenated, fed, permanently. It's not, you never take a vacation from your life. Your vacations should be like the most exciting things that you do. Right? Activities filled with adventure. Anyways, I am rambling today. But I think it merits a little bit of philosophy into what we do. It's not just lifting. It's not just getting stronger, building up the triceps, building up the shoulders, whatever it is you want to build up. It's building this up. Every single thing that you conquer is building up your mind and your character. God bless everybody. We'll see you next time.